don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Hey y'all, we are back again for another video. So I had been posting some. Y'all see I took my braids down. I was tired of those, honey. The struggle is real, but yeah, we got to talk about Fani Willis. Now, I had did some little videos on it, but it was so much information coming out. I was like, look, I got to come on live because y'all, this is just too much. Like, some people, obviously, they can't take power because Fani Willis has now admitted to the relationship that she is having with her special prosecutor. Now, originally, I didn't really want to, I talked about it, but I used the word allegedly because let's be honest, this was information that was coming out. Obviously, they stated they had the bank statements, but I truly wanted to hear what she had to say, right? But it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. So let me give y'all a little breakdown for those of you who may not know. Obviously, y'all don't watch every video and may not know what's going on. So Fani Willis is obviously trying to indict Trump. She's trying to convict him on a bunch of charges. We know that Trump has been on a witch hunt forever. He has alleged a lot of things about Fani Willis. If you guys recall, it was being alleged that she had some kind of relationship with a deceased YSL member. Now, that was all up and through the news. They was dragging her, and I was like, y'all don't got to do that to her. But now, she has admitted to having this relationship with her special prosecutor. And, obviously they had the bank statements and everything to kind of tie them two together, but she has pretty much admitted it. And again, it's looking real crazy being that you are responsible for supervising this man. And not only were you responsible for supervising him, you were responsible for him to receive almost $700,000, which is above the average. And they're saying he never even had the background. So it is being alleged that perhaps she hired him because they was doing the nasty. So y'all, it's just a lot going on. Fani Willis has filed this court document basically stating that yes, she admits to having a relationship with him. But again, they're digging out all sorts of dirt, and again, it's not looking good for her. So we're going to get into some quick little articles here, just for some of y'all that may, y'all don't know, y'all didn't follow it and all of that, but it's been a bunch of stuff that has been going down with regards to Willis. So I'm going to get into this video. Oops, shucks. Let me get into this video here. Just give me a moment here. I'm going to share my screen here. But y'all, how's everybody doing today? Let me make sure I'm sharing the right one. Is that the right one? Yeah, it's that one. All right, y'all, let's watch this video.
Attorney who is prosecuting the former president, Donald Trump, for election interference in Georgia. She has admitted to having an improper relationship with her lead prosecutor. I mean, this is a big admission. Up until this point, she has said she will not speak on this. Right. But she was required to respond to those allegations, and now she has. Yeah, this is according to court documents, by the way, a court filing, which we're just getting in right now. We will have a reporter on this coming up really shortly. But, just talking about the context here, of course, being here in Georgia, she is at the helm of this prosecution against the former president. And there have been, members of the GOP, particularly those who are Trump supporters, who have been saying, we've got a conflict of interest, essentially, because the person who she's admitting to having this affair with is someone she hired, right, to be a part of this case against Donald Trump and his allies. So this is really a pivotal moment and could be a big turning point when it comes to this Georgia election interference. That's exactly right. And, just because there is an admission of having a relationship, what else did she say in that court filing? Does she believe that it is, conflict of interest. What did she have to say about that? And there's still some questions about what exactly she had to say.
Right. And really at the heart of this is the money that was used to pay him to be part of this team was then turned around, and she benefited from it because there's accusations that she went on trips and they went on vacations together.
Lots of layers.
Yeah, there accusations. Certainly here. So. National political correspondent Abijoy Burnett is with us now. Abijoy, you have been following this. This is, you know, you sent a message saying we got this in, and you ran to report it. So Willis was up against this big deadline today. So what can you tell us about how this went down?
The deadline was today. Of course, close of business for many of these courthouses could be 4:30 or 5 o'clock. So there was always a possibility that we would have to wait to the end of the day. But here we have it right around 1 o'clock, sometime after 1. We're now learning that there's this court filing. We're still trying to get all of the details on the filing. But the headline news, the breaking news right now is that she is admitting to having had a relationship.
Okay, guys, I just want to stop it right there. I want to make sure y'all following me in the video. So for everything that you guys have heard, which has pretty much been that she was having an improper relationship, they stated that she benefited from the money that he received. Now, she did not admit to anything other than having a relationship with him. So make sure, I just want to make sure y'all following that, okay?
With Nathan Wade. Nathan Wade is a special prosecutor who was hired to help oversee this Georgia election interference case against the former president, Donald Trump, and several other co-defendants. And I want to bring you guys back to what happened in early January. Around January 8th, we got reporting that one of those co-defendants, Michael Roman, said that made the accusation that Fani Willis, the district attorney who's at the helm of this investigation, was having an inappropriate relationship with Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor who she hired to help oversee this case. You ladies referenced this, that many people said this was problematic because it could have potentially been a conflict of interest. But then the time went along. We heard the allegations, but we heard nothing official from Fani Willis on this matter until today. We're getting to this point today because the judge who's overseeing this case, Judge Scott McAfee, he wanted for her to have, he set a deadline for her to file a response to these allegations today. And it's very interesting. If you've watched this process play out, there was a hearing maybe about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago or so, where it was really the elephant in the room. There were other proceedings that were going on, other matters revolving around this case, but it wasn't really touched on. The judge said he wanted to wait to hear of a response from Fani Willis before he set a court date to discuss this. And then when he didn't hear anything, he said that she had to respond by today, February 2nd. And so now we have this filing. I still have to go over all of the details, but we now have this filing where she is admitting to that relationship. Of course, the big question now is, what happens to this massive RICO case that involves the former president? We know that many people have said this has been something that is extremely politicized. Legal watchers are saying that she should recuse herself. Possibly Nathan Wade should recuse herself.
Okay, guys, I just want to preface this. So just so you guys are following along. So the only reason why Fani Willis submitted this response is pretty much because she was forced. So she never spoke about her relationship with her lead prosecutor. It is because the judge gave her until February 2nd to respond, and that is why she responded.
There are other people who are saying she should not have to recuse herself. But now that there is this main admission of a relationship with someone who she hired, we have to look at the timeline of events. When did this happen? Was it before she hired him or after she hired him? All of these questions will need to be answered. And all of this is looming as we still wait to hear when the trial will move forward in this matter. We know that Fani Willis sometime last year hinted at the possibility of having something happen in the summer months. It's ultimately
Oops, I'm sorry.
Up to the judge to figure out exactly when we will have a trial in this matter that involves more than a dozen people, including a former president who's running for the office of the presidency once again. And so, with all of the proceedings that are running concurrently, here's yet another thing that needs to be added into the mix to be sorted out. And speaking about sorting things out, there will be a hearing on February 15th in less than 2 weeks, or just about 2 weeks, where Fani Willis has been subpoenaed to testify. She was subpoenaed by the attorney who represents Michael Roman to testify, and we could potentially hear everything come out in full court on this particular matter, or if not everything, then many things. We must also note that Nathan Wade has also been subpoenaed to testify on February 15th. And yesterday, I spoke with a former federal prosecutor to understand how these things work out. If Fani Willis is not able to give a good enough reason on why she's not supposed to testify on February 15th, she will have to do so with many people watching. Remember, these proceedings are streamed live online.
Significant development.
Okay, guys. So let's just talk about that really quickly. So that you guys are following the video. So the thing that is of concern here is the timeline of events. So exactly when did she develop this relationship with Nathan? That is extremely important. The next thing is, did she financially benefit? Obviously, if she hired him and she was paid some sorts of money, because think about it, he was paid $700,000 and they said that was out of the norm. So did she financially benefit from this? And then there's that other issue. She is sleeping with someone that she is directly responsible for supervising. Now, Fani Willis has filed a response, and in her response, she did state that she is entitled to a personal life. That is fine. And people that work together, they actually do date each other. The issue is dating someone or being in a romantic relationship with someone that you have direct supervision over. That's an ethical issue. I mean, I'm sure, some of you guys have been in leadership positions before. How does that even, I don't even know how that would even feel. It seems weird to be a supervisor for somebody that you're sleeping with, because how can you be impartial to somebody that you haven't, you're doing the nasty with? So let's get into what Fani had to say, y'all, because this is not looking good. And I was so in support of her, but this is crossing the line. I mean, this has crossed the line. For those of you that may be familiar with Georgia, there is a lady here. I don't remember her name, but she works like for somewhere in government, but she was just, well, the government, I don't remember which branch, or I think it's a state office, was sued because the woman was in a romantic relationship with someone that she supervised, and he did not want to be in a relationship with her anymore, and she fired him, and he sued them for $1 million. So this is like something that is just, Georgia is a hot mess at times. So let's get into what Fani had to say, y'all. All right, just give me a moment. All right, so let's get into this real quickly here, because so Fani Willis acknowledges a personal relationship with prosecutor she hired in a Trump's case. So, that's the problem. So Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, she acknowledged in a court filing on Friday, so this was just 2 days ago, on having a personal relationship with her special prosecutor she hired for the Georgia election interference case against former President Donald Trump, but argued that there are no grounds to dismiss the case or to remove her from prosecution. So basically what she's saying is, yeah, I'm in a relationship with him. Hey. Willis hired special prosecutor Nathan Wade in November 2021 to assist her in investigation into whether the Republican ex-president and others broke any laws as they tried to overturn his loss in the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. Since Trump and 18 others were indicted in August, Wade has left the team of lawyers Willis assembled to prosecute the case. Amongst the acts listed in the indictment was a January 2nd, 2021 phone call in which Trump urged fellow Republican Secretary State Brad Raffensperger to help find the 11,780 votes needed to overturn his election loss to Democratic Joe Biden. Trump has pleaded not guilty, and his attorneys has said he was within his rights to challenge the election results. So guys, y'all remember that. If not, you remember when Trump lost, he stated that it was some mess going on and he needed to find those votes. Well, this is what he's being charged with, because they're saying he did a lot more. The filing was the first time that Willis or Wade has directly addressed the allegations of the relationship in nearly 4 weeks. So when Fani Willis obviously filed this report, she stated, obviously they were in a relationship. So in 4 weeks, they have said nothing. Since they first surfaced in a filing by a defendant in the election case. In an affidavit accompanying the filing, Wade said that in 2022, he and the district attorney had developed a personal relationship in addition to their professional association and friendship. Now, this is what Wade said, but he also said that he had never lived with Willis or shared a financial account or household expenses with her. He said that none of the funds paid to him as part of the job have been shared with Willis, an attempt to undercut defense lawyers' claims of a conflict of interest. So Willis stated none of the money that he received was given to Fani Willis. Wade described himself and Willis as both financially independent professionals. Expenses or personal travel were roughly divided equally between the two. So he's saying they basically split their trips in half. At times, Wade said, I have made and purchased travel for District Attorney Willis and myself from my personal funds. At other times, District Attorney Willis has made and purchased travel for she and I from her personal funds. Wade is saying, I have no financial interest in the outcome of the 2020 election interference case or in the conviction of any defendant. This is what he wrote. The Friday filing by Willis's team came in response to a motion filed last month by defense attorney Ashley Merchant, who represents Trump co-defendant Michael Roman. The motion alleged that Willis and Wade were in an inappropriate romantic relationship that created a conflict of interest. It said Willis personally profited from the case, saying she had paid Wade more than $650,000 for his work, and then benefited when Wade used his earnings to pay for her vacations the pair took together. So basically, I mean, he was paid $650,000. They're basically saying she benefited because he took her on trips. Yeah, I mean, that could be, but we got to see, what else is going on here, because she admitted to the relationship. So now they're digging very, very deep. So they're saying the payment for $650 for his work, then she benefited, right? So Roman asked the judge to dismiss the case and have Willis and Wade and their offices barred from further prosecuting the case. So they don't really care. They just want this case against Trump dismissed. So Trump and at least one other co-defendant, Georgia attorney Robert Shealy, have filed motions to join Roman's effort to dismiss the indictment and remove Willis from the case. So they just basically want her removed. They want the case dismissed. So this is a witch hunt. I mean, obviously she had an inappropriate romantic relationship with someone that she hired, but they're basically saying, we don't give a damn. We feel like we want this case dismissed because of that inappropriate relationship. Will it happen? Probably not. And then we have other defendants that has joined this motion. So that's pretty much it, y'all. I'm not going to sit up here and read this entire thing. I just wanted to come on here and give y'all a little bitty update as to what is going on. Here is my takeaway from this entire thing. When I looked at Fani Willis. I saw all of the scrutiny that she was receiving online. And I was a little bit, triggered a little bit because I'm like, okay, this is a Black woman. And let me tell y'all something. Let me share this story with you. I remember, I don't know if I told y'all this, I used to have my own school. I used to have a private school in which I started, and I would have to go through so much scrutiny when it came to certain people, Karens and all that type of stuff. Because, I mean, I'm almost 50 now, but at the time I was in my late 30s. So imagine somebody in their late 30s having their own school. It was my school. I created it. So they did everything they could to try to just discredit everything I did. So when I saw these things happening to Fani Willis, it reminded me of myself. But obviously, in my situation, it had nothing to do with me dealing with, a coworker. It was just, they just didn't like the idea of seeing, a Black female a young female in that position of power. But in this particular situation, I really feel like Fani Willis, she should have used better judgment. I understand in her, filing, she stated that she should have a personal life and she has the opportunity to have a personal life. Well, this has nothing to do with her personal life because when you start sleeping with someone that you have hired and someone that you're supervising, this goes beyond a personal life. Okay, so I have to disagree with that. And I have to disagree with what she stated with regards to her having a personal life, because sleeping with someone that you are supervising is just not it. Now, I don't know if you guys recall, but if not, I'm going to bring that up in a few seconds. Fani Willis was at a church on when was this? She was at the Big Bethel AME Church. She gave this big speech and she made it seem like it was about race. And I want to bring that up. I'm not going to play the entire thing, but people were really upset at that because the fact that she made it about a race thing. And let's just be honest, everything is not about race. Everything is just not about race. Some things are, but everything is in. Wait a minute, guys. Oh, shucks, I'm sorry. Let me, I want to bring this video up. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can bring this up. I want y'all to watch this video. I'm going to try to cut it down a little bit, but in this video, and this is what I was getting to when I was bringing up my situation, as Black people, y'all, we go through it. Like, we go through. But when I heard this about her and I saw this about her, I wanted to know what was really going on. Obviously, people was coming out and they were saying a bunch of stuff, but I still wanted to hear from her. But I just feel like she played in our faces. That's what I feel like. With regards to, did she benefit financially from this case? I don't know. But let's get into this video in which she wanted to spin the race card with us. And that is what really had me irritated, because I don't believe this has anything to do with race. I think it has a lot to do with the judgment that she used when she decided to hire a man that she was screwing. So let's get into this. Let's get into this, y'all. Just give me a moment here. Let me take this down. Let me just stop. All right, give me a moment here. Let me bring this up. Y'all, I'm getting so much better. So I've been doing YouTube for about I think this is my 7th month. And when I first started, honey, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I done got a lot better. So therefore, I can come online with y'all. Oh, yeah, let's get into this here, y'all. Let's get into this. This is when she was. Oops, wait. I done turned the volume down, child. What I done did. All right, let's. Why y'all can't hear? Oh boy. Technology. Okay, wait, y'all. It's not. Y'all can't hear it.
So the theme being celebrated today.
Let me stop sharing because I'm not understanding why y'all can't hear this. All right, let me stop sharing here. All right, let me stop sharing and bring it back up because I don't know what the heck is going on here. You know, just when I said I was getting good and then that started happening. Okay, I just want y'all to see this because, you know, I get it. Like we do experience. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Is that it? Here we go, y'all. Let's get into it.
There is literally no place in the world I'd rather be than right here with you today. God always brings you to that safe place where you need to be. And so the invitation to come where God's message is taught, adhered to, and celebrated is my honor. I want to acknowledge and humbly thank, first of all, my Savior, Lord Jesus Christ. But also his humble servants, Bishop Jackson, Supervisor Christy Davis Jackson, Esquire, Presiding Elder Hudson, Reverend Dr. John Foster, Sister Mary Ann Foster, and Chairperson Carla Morrison, who didn't hear what they said about her, told me to invite the Still Good. I hope for y'all this week I don't look like what I've been through. I want y'all to know I pulled out my most lavish $29.99 dress from Ross. Here I stand to talk to you this morning. See, that part's funny. That's not God. Now, I must warn you, if you are looking today, this morning, to hear from a perfect person, well, he was crucified and he died for your sins. But today, what he has brought you is his very flawed, hard-headed, and imperfect servant. And so I pray for him to please use me this morning. Some people are in this place to hear the word of God. Others are here for other reasons, but my God got a way of making sure no matter why you came, you leave with his message. So the theme being celebrated today is, it starts with me. I want somebody to repeat that. It starts with me. Shifting the cultural climate through the study and practice of Dr. King's nonviolent philosophy. So I'm gonna start here. When I researched the history of this monumental church, two words just jumped off the page at me. And the words were this: this church was built on faith and resilience. The hard-headed, flawed, imperfect servant before you is built and is being constantly chiseled on faith and resilience. I smiled when I read the description. I knew God was telling me, I'm sending you where you need to be. I was invited here to give you a message, but yet my God does what he always does. He brought a message to me. He knew this child needed reminding. So I want to talk to you today about what it's required to be a soldier in this warfare. And that's what it is. Warfare to shift the cultural climate I must reveal to you a secret though. Oh, wait for it, they want to know. The journey is ugly. The journey is painful. The journey is full of pitfalls. But if you are one of his children, you must answer the purpose. You must answer the call. Y'all don't hear me. You must answer the mandate. The question becomes, are you qualified? And it really comes down to this. How much are you personally willing to sacrifice for the greater good? And his purpose. How much? I want you to really sit and think about that question. How much are you willing to sacrifice for God's purpose? See, I must confess to you, as a little girl, I really did not think that Dr. Martin Luther King's dream would still be just a work in progress. I thought by 2024, as a 52-year-old woman, that certainly us humans would have gotten it together, that the cultural shift would have already taken place. I thought by now, well, we would all just be getting along. Boy, was I wrong. Now, right now, as much as any time in history, we need a cultural shift. As Americans have normalized, some of y'all say that with me, Americans have normalized. They've normalized cruelty. They've normalized bigotry. They've normalized hate. Many of our youth and adults have no respect for authority. See, they criticize me for who my earthly father is and my heavenly one. Let me tell you about this earthly daddy of mine. See, my father is one of the few Americans living who was actually able to meet and spend time with Dr. Martin Luther King. He's an older man now. Don't tell him I said it, y'all. And he's told me often, you see how now you look around and on every corner they have Dr. Martin Luther King's picture. And anywhere you go, they are celebrating Dr. King. He said, well, that's not how it was when he was here. Oh, we're gonna tell the truth this morning. He tells me, you see, when Dr. King was here, I've seen him very hurt. My father's revealed to me, he's seen him in moments where Dr. King was saddened. He was saddened because people were cruel to him, unsupportive. Even some people he thought were naturally in his camp. He told me that there were those that were jealous. And he really took a lot of abuse. He says Dr. King was a great man, a prophet, he calls him. He said he was filled with good and kindness, and the only thing he wanted to do was make the world a more equitable place. He said Dr. King was not a perfect man, but he was a great man, willing to answer God's call. You all, this week at one point, because they told me I could be honest with y'all, I became so in need of my source. I stopped, and to tap in, I penned a letter to my Heavenly Father. I desperately needed to tap in to that one source. See, God knows my heart, my joys, my pains, my sins, my flaws. I am one of his hard-headed children. So he must get me together often. I'm telling the truth this morning. But see, in my life, I have experienced things that have taught me Jesus is the only source I can only rely on every time and all the time. I wondered if it was okay with you to share this letter I wrote this week to my God. But you are warned, it ain't the prettiest journey. And me and my God, we talk like regular folks. Dear Father in heaven, 4 years ago, you sent a godly woman to see.
So y'all, let me kind of fast forward it because this long MLK speech thing, this is not what I want to hear. So let me fast forward it. I didn't realize this was this, but girl, we don't want to we don't want to hear this. I want to get to the part where she's talking about the situation at hand, and she's talking about that. So let me get to that part, because girl, this is ain't nobody gonna be listening. Let me just get to it. All right, y'all, give me a moment. Okay, y'all. So let me share now, because I've gotten to the part that we actually want to hear, because all of this other old stuff. All right, y'all. Let's get into this part, okay?
This is me and my Lord talking. God, I don't really want to do that. I ain't feeling it. God, do as I said, child. I am using her to grow you. Pray for her. I am using all of these experiences to fortify her. Flawed, hard-headed, imperfect me. Pray for her? Yes. But dear God, are you listening? Why does Commissioner Thorne and so many others question my decision in a special counsel? Lord, you're flawed, hard-headed, and imperfect child. I'm a little confused. I appointed 3 special counsel, as is my right to do. Paid them all the same hourly rate.
Is this doing it?
They only attacked one. I hired one white woman, a good personal friend and great lawyer. A superstar, I tell you. I hired one white man, brilliant, my friend, and a great lawyer. And I hired one black man, another superstar, a great friend, and a great lawyer. Oh Lord, they gonna be mad when I call them out on this nonsense. First thing they say, oh, she gonna play the race card now. But no, God, Isn't it them who's playing the race card when they only question one? Isn't it them playing the race card when they constantly think, I need someone from some other jurisdiction in some other state to tell me how to do a job?
Okay, so this is where I want to kind of jump in. So again, Fani Willis is basically stating that she hired a diverse team, and it is other people that's using the race card. So again, I don't know what's happening in her office with regards to, she keeps saying the race card. Now it is being stated that when she filed her reply, that she included a lot of emails and a lot of threats that she received. So maybe that is where she's bringing up the racism part. But what I want to point out is, you are in a relationship with your special prosecutor. Now, when she went to this church and did this speech, obviously she has not come out and she had not made it known that she was in this relationship with him. But I'm showing you this video to kind of let you know that some of the stuff that she's saying is not honest. Now, I don't know. They say lawyers, all they do is lie. Now, I don't know. But in this, particular video, she is making it seem like it's all about race. But what people are pointing out is very factual. They're saying that what she paid him and what he's worth is two different things. And you sleeping with him is two different things. So let's continue.
I've been doing almost 30 years. God, why don't they look at themselves and just be honest? I mean, can't they keep it 100 with themselves? Why are they so surprised that a diverse team that I assembled, your child, can accomplish extraordinary things? God, wasn't it them that attacked this lawyer of impeccable credentials? The black man I chose has been a judge more than 10 years, run a private practice more than 20, represented businesses in civil litigation. I ain't done, y'all. Served as a prosecutor, a criminal defense lawyer, special assistant attorney general, won Chief Justice Robert Benham Award from the State Bar of Georgia. You know, they ain't just giving this to black men. How come, God, the same black man I hired was acceptable when a Republican in another county hired him and paid him twice the rate? Oh, y'all ain't hear me. In another county, the elected official has the authority to pay him twice the rate. Why is the white male Republican's judgment good enough, but the black female Democrats not? Now, please hear me. I'm not criticizing his judgment. The people of his county.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to stop it at there. And that's what I'm saying, with a lot of this information and things that's coming out, we don't really know everything. You have to understand that the media is controlled by specific people, and they will allow you to see what they want you to see. So that's why I didn't really speak on this that much, because I feel like there's more information that we have not heard. Now, in Fani Willis's reply, they said she got down to the nitty gritty. Now, what Fani just stated is, okay, she paid him $600 and something thousand, which is really close to $700,000. What she's stating is he was paid twice that by a black municipality. I'm sorry, by a white, I'm not going to say white municipality, by a white person who actually paid him twice as much. So what she's saying is, why is she being judged for paying him half as much than what a white male had already paid him? And honestly, I have to agree with her on this. So I just want y'all to be open to this. Now, I don't agree with her having this relationship with him, but I understand what she's saying. And Y'all got to let me know what y'all think in the comments. Obviously, she definitely made some mistakes by going into this relationship with him. And, you know, y'all let me know if y'all want to talk about this more. But I believe, you know, the issue in itself is you had a relationship with him. She had the right to pay him whatever it was she thought he should make. But the issue is here, honey, you jumped into the sack with him, and that's where the problem came in. So y'all let me know, you know, what y'all think and everything in the comments. Okay, I'll see y'all in the next video.